So now I'm going to show you how to complete this look, and we're going to start off with the square knots. So we want to cut a strand that is 66 inches, which is 5.5 feet. So we're going to do that. I'm going to lay that out here in front of you. It's going a little off screen because we don't really need to see it. But I put my 2, and this is the middle, which is the top loop, so I put that there. And then you need another strand that's going to be 18 inches long. Okay? And we're just going to put that in the middle of the 2 longer strands and tape it down. All right? So I taped it up here from 4 inches down, basically. I didn't really do 4 inches. I probably did about 3. I'll do about 4. I'm going to put another piece of tape. Ta-da! Okay. And then we're going to start doing some square knots. And I'm going to do about 10 square knots to start this bracelet here. And then we'll put on the bead. So if you don't want it this thin, you can make it a little bit thicker. My string is so tiny that it doesn't really make a difference. So this is made with 1 strand in the middle. This is made with 2 strands in the middle. 2 strands kind of looks like it's more professional. You just cut 2 18 strands if you want it thicker in the middle. Okay, so we're going to make 10 square knots. And I might not show you 10 square knots on here, just so I can show you what it looks like at the end. So you're not like watching this video and watching me do a whole bunch of square knots. Like, it's really entertaining maybe to some people, but. So I have 1 square knot done, and I'll show you it really slow again. So you have the 2 strands on the outside should be your longest strands. Okay, and your middle one should be your short one. So I'm going to take my 1 on the left, make my 4, come over this, come over my 4, and take the strand behind everything up through the 4 and pull. And 2, you can use I'm trying to think of that needle threading. You can use needle threading. You don't have to use the small waxy stuff. There's thicker wax out there, thicker wax cord. This is what I'm using, and I got this at Hobby Lobby, which I think I've seen at Michael's as well. So don't feel like you have to use this thin of stuff. So that was my top. Let me show you again. Bottom. So I'm going underneath, and I'm going underneath. My strand is going over top here on this strand here, which is harder to see, I know. And so this strand that is furthest to my right is going over top and inside my 4 to complete that square knot. Now, to complete your bracelet, before you put on a bead, you want to make 10 of these square knots. But I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to put on your bead and make your square knot. So just pretend we did 10. So I'm just putting my bead on, which is super easy. These beads were meant for the bracelet, so they're a lot smaller, the ones that were on the list. And you're just going to create that square knot while this bead sits on that middle strand. And you're going to make the square knot on the outside strands, your longest cords, and make you another square knot here. And in between your beads, you're going to make 6 square knots. So it's going to be 10 square knots, a bead, 6 square knots, a bead, 6 square knots, a bead, and then 10. Okay? So let me go ahead and show you say we magically got that all done. I've changed colors. I now have this finished product. Ta-da! So we have the 10, 6, 6, 10. Okay, I'm just gonna, what we do here now is I'm gonna take my super glue, or you can use clear nail polish, whichever one you have, does not matter. I'm gonna wait to put that together because I feel like it gets a little scary sometimes. Anyways, so you're gonna clip you're basically clipping your long ends here. So I clip, don't pull anything, but clip, and then you super glue those little ends. So that was just one end that I clipped, right? So I'm gonna super glue. So that doesn't frail apart is what I'm super gluing on there. Okay. And then I'm gonna take it on the other side here where my loop wasn't. I'm gonna do the same thing, cut my longer ones, but keep that middle because we need it to tie our piece together. So we have a functional bracelet. Okay, that one got a little bit tight, but I think I'll be okay. And I'll just super glue. Super glue, super glue. What a fun thing to do. Okay, so then all those little excess, they can just go away. Take them to the side. So now we have this product where we have this kind of longer string. You can even it out or just wait. What I'm going to do here is tie a knot on this one side, and how I do that, I wrap it around my finger like so. I take that tail on the inside, put it through, and tie my knot. And I'm going to tie it closer to the end than the middle, so I'm just moving it up the strand. So there's my knot on that side. I'm going to make sure I get a knot on this side. You might have to wait too if you're using nail polish or super glue. My super glue is still wet, but I really just wanted to kind of show you all how this works. Okay. Probably going to have to, let me trim that because you know what? That's an awfully long strand there. So I'm just trimming it and then I'm going to re-knot it here. All right, so now you're like, wait, that doesn't make a bracelet, right? So in order to like adhere or attach it, I'm trying to find my one so I can show you all, but magically has disappeared on my table. But to attach them, we're going to make a square knot holding these, so then like you can pull it apart and put it together. So in order to do that, we tape again. We're going to tape it close to this end here. And we're going to tape it on this side as well. Okay. I'm going to cut a 12-inch strand. To make my square knots with. Okay, I'm going to show you on a different color. So I'm just going to slip that underneath those strands there, make it even. Oh, sorry, I think my hair got in there. Make that even, and we're going to make the square knots. Just like how we did on the bracelet, but it's a little bit more manipulative with the cord being taped down. So you want to make sure that you get behind the two strands as your middle cord. Okay. So I did over, And now I'm going to take this one on my left hand side and go under with it. Going under those two. And this strand goes under the one that came under. So this one's on top, this one is under, and it's going to go through that loop there. You're going to make about 4 of these square knots, just so you have a nice secure, I forget what they call it. I wish I remembered names. I am really terrible. I like vocabulary and things. So like, I'll say like lark's head knot, but I'm really talking about square knots or something, you know. So I'm sorry about that. It's just how my brain works, but it's okay. We all work differently. Okay. So now I have 2. I'm just going to make 1 more. So I have a finished product that I can give to somebody. I think that's what one of my things I'm doing is like making some macrame bracelets for some people and some homemade Christmas ornaments. That's what y'all are getting this year for Christmas. Ooh. Okay. Once that's done, take off that tape. Oh, my super glue wasn't dry all the way. And now, with your 2 pieces, you'll be able to move them like so, and they'll stay. But you also want to make sure that you super glue these 2 pieces. So I'm going to super glue it before I cut it. I feel like that might be a smarter thing than just cutting and then super gluing. So I'm going to super glue that one, super glue here. Make sure that strand doesn't get that super glue on it. Okay. Or your see-through polish. And then I'm going to clip those ends, clip those ends. Now you have a functioning bracelet. Super cute. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is something that you can create more and more of. Just practice those square knots, and then you'll eventually be able to work with like this finer, smaller cord. So have fun with it. Don't get too stressed out. Remember, you're learning something new, and not everybody does that. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye.